A voyage into the unknown, a voyage into the Arctic.
I'm Tom Kerss. I'm an astronomer.
And you feel that sense of adventure. It's totally unique. It's so special. You know, no one knows the coast like Hurtigruten, so you have the expertise on board that are coming with you.
If you've ever looked into planning a Northern Lights holiday, there's a lot of questions out there. What should you pack? What time of year should you go? How cold is it going to be? But a question not a lot of people ask is, how should you see the lights? And very luckily we have Tom Kerss, who is Hurtigruten's Chief Aurora Chaser, here with us today to talk us through why taking a ship up Norway's coast might just be the answer. So Tom, you've chased the lights all over the world. Why is sailing along the coast of Norway one of your favourite ways to see them?
It's totally unique. It's so special. So you start your voyage in the south of Norway. You're south of the Arctic. So you begin sailing. You sail out of Bergen or out of Oslo and you start making your way north up the Norwegian coast. You're on a voyage of discovery, a voyage into the unknown, a voyage into the Arctic. And the Arctic itself is already a sort of, you know, it's an extreme environment. It's a faraway climb that you are supposed to kind of make an adventure to. And you feel that sense of adventure because you are traveling every minute further north. So every night you're closer to the Arctic. Every night there's an increase in the likelihood that you might see something. And so with every passing night, the buzz is growing as you get closer and closer to what will become the first sighting for all of the guests. So I feel like there's a very special sense of adventure in traveling to see the lights and just the sheer distance that you cover traveling from the south of Norway. Norway's a very tall country, all the way up to the northernmost point at the North Cape. You travel so far, crossing the Arctic Circle and deep into the Arctic as well. I mean, it's unlike any other kind of aurora chasing. You're not just stepping off a plane, hiring a car and driving out to see what you can see. You yourself are making a purposeful journey to make your way to the Northern Lights and to prepare yourself for that experience. And you do that in such a comfortable way. You're traveling with your lodgings, your hotel with its bar and its spa, and everything is coming with you. So all of those comforts are with you, but of course, when you step outside, you can put them all in the back of your mind and feel like you're out there in the wild.
For people who have only ever considered planning a Northern Lights holiday by land, what specifically is so different about doing it by sea?
Well, when you're traveling with Hurtigruten, you're on a voyage to see the Northern Lights, and everything is taken care of for you. You could just fly into Tromsø, hire a car, try to figure out what to do, and your luck will vary. But when you're sailing on one of Hurtigruten's ships, you know, no one knows the coast like Hurtigruten, so they're taking you up this rugged and beautiful coastline, taking you into the Arctic. Everything you need is coming with you, and you have that opportunity to step out and see the sky at any time, step in and warm up. You have the expertise on board that are coming with you. And there's something just very purposeful about that all coming together, that you can share the experience with other people who want to do it. Everybody's in the same position. Everybody's as excited as you are. You'll all be talking about it the next day. And of course, you can always lean on the expertise that Hurtigruten have to enrich that experience, to add something to that. It's much more memorable with the time that it takes and the intention that you have than just a quick trip to go and chase the lights. And especially when you're trying to do it all yourself, juggle all of those elements, everything's taken care of for you when you take a voyage.
And can you share a little bit about some of the challenges you might face chasing Northern Lights on land that you don't really have to experience when you're at sea?
When you're on board one of the ships, you're never alone because there's a team, the Coastal Experience team, made up of true passionate experts who understand Norway. You can speak to them anytime. They'll happily answer your questions. They'll come out and see the Northern Lights with you. And so you really don't feel like you're doing it by yourself. You feel like you're leaning on this expertise and experience all the time. And they will give you all the tips that you need, not just to see the lights, but to photograph them as well. You can always lean on their expertise. And everything they know goes well beyond the Northern Lights. They know Norway so well. So there's so much more that you can learn from them on top of your experience of chasing auroras.
And of course, you are one of our team of aurora chasing experts that help guide our guests on these sailings. So can you share a little bit about what it's actually like to experience one of these sailings with you?
So as the Chief Aurora Chaser, I'm one of a team of astronomy experts that work with Hurtigruten delivering astronomy voyages. And if you're unsure what that means, well, think of it this way. You're taking a voyage up the coast and everything that entails comes with that itinerary. But you're also going to be spending a lot of time with an expert. So you'll be part of a group that comes to a special lecture program with your astronomy expert. It could be myself, could be one of our astronomy team. And they will deliver a rich program of talks, and you'll be able to ask them questions, and you crucially will be stargazing and chasing the northern lights with them. So if that appeals to you, if you feel like you would really like to share the experience of aurora chasing with a very experienced aurora chaser, that's something extra that you can think about. And when you come on board, you will also join a special group within the passenger list on board, and you will spend a lot of time with that group. So you'll probably make some friends with very similar interests as well.
And what is it like hosting one of these voyages? Can you share a little bit about the atmosphere between you and the group that you were hosting there?
Well, once you've been on the ship for a while, you'll have familiarized yourself with where to go outside. And there are lots of access points where you can go outside onto the open parts of the deck. So you'll have some idea of where you're going to go. You'll want to make sure that you have your warm clothes ready, preferably with you at all times. Otherwise, finish your dinner at your own pace and then maybe go and get changed immediately afterwards. Set yourself up somewhere near those doors and be ready. So if you are keeping an eye on the Northern Lights conditions yourself, then you can step outside at any time and those doors are open and you can step in and out and take your own photographs at your own pace. But if the auroras are sighted, then you can't fail to know about that, because there will be an announcement on the ship and there will be a flurry of activity that follows that announcement. So when those announcements are made, it's time to go out on one of the open decks. Now, often the announcement will tell you where to go and see the lights. It might tell you that the lights are on the port side, which is nautical for left, or the starboard side, which is the right side of the ship, or it may be in front of the ship or behind the ship, depending on the angle. So knowing which door to use is very important, and getting practiced around that is important. If you are in your cabin when that happens, you can enable on the phone system a notification, which can happen at any time of the day or night. So it's up to you if you want to leave that on while you're asleep. But if you keep all of your outwear by the door and you put that on, you can be woken up at dark 100, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning even, and told that the Northern Lights are active. If you want to, those alerts are available. If you don't want to, you can sleep through the night. So you can mute that if you don't want to do that. But that means that those sightings and when they occur and when the best time to go out, that is taken care of for you. You can do your own chase if you want to, go out on the ship in your own time, but you can also rely on the fact that when the lights are sighted, there will be an announcement and it will be time to go outside at that moment. I do recommend being near the doors when that happens, maybe in the bar or in the cafeteria, because where you can get to those doors quickly, you can sort of beat the rush a little bit when those announcements go out, because you will find lots of people suddenly get very excited.
Mm-hmm. You're also an aurora photographer, so can we have a couple of tips on how to best prepare to take photos of the Northern Lights?
Tip number 1, you might not need to over-prepare. A few years ago, I would have told you all these different technical things about capturing auroras. Nowadays, I find myself among guests taking pictures with their smartphones that are better than anything I could capture, with thousands of pounds worth of camera equipment. But if you are really keen on photography, you probably are going to want to bring your own equipment with you. So here's a couple more tips for you. The first one is to get familiar with setting up your equipment. When you're outside in the dark and it's cold, very cold, it can be quite challenging and you don't want to be shining lights around and spoiling the view for others. So just get used to setting up your equipment, get a feel for how to control your camera in the dark, practice it indoors a few times. The great thing about being on the ship is you can set your camera up inside and then you can just walk it out through the door and set it up under the lights, which is fantastic. Tip number 2, and this is very important, I think, is just to make sure that you don't get carried away trying to get the best photograph. If it's not working out, don't worry, because you're going to be traveling with other people who are taking fantastic photos they'll be willing to share with you, no trouble. And so if you are struggling, take it in, enjoy the view, and come back the following night with a bit more practice.
Now we know the lights are a natural phenomenon and can be a lottery, but can you share a little bit about the Northern Lights promised when you sail with Hurtigruten?
Well, when you're sailing a voyage in Norway, the odds of seeing the Northern Lights are really good, not just because of the length of the voyage, but because of the range of latitudes covered. Ultimately though, the lottery comes into play because We can't control the weather. It is possible, unlikely, but possible that the weather will not be good enough. If you travel during that peak aurora season, beginning on the 20th of September and going through to the 31st of March, if you take a full voyage, then if the Northern Lights aren't actually sighted by your ship, if they're not in sight of your ship, you can come back and do another southbound or northbound voyage free of charge. And that's the Northern Lights promise.
Thank you for your time, Tom, and thank you for watching wherever you are in the world. If you want to learn a little bit more about the Northern Lights or planning your own Aurora adventure, check out our playlist here or all of the resources that are linked in the description.